Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and today's video lesson is on multiplying fractions. Please make sure that you have your new notes booklet, Multiplying and Dividing Fractions. You're going to need to fill out your notes and work the examples as we go through this video. To multiply two fractions, you first multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. Then you simplify. Yes, it is that easy. Alright, so this is how you multiply: numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So let's get into practicing. 1/6 times 3/5. So you're going to multiply the numerators together, 1 times 3, and multiply the denominators, 6 times 5. 1 times 3 is 3, 6 times 5 is 30. Now we're not done, because we're going to do your favorite thing, and that's simplify. The only factors for 3 are 3 and 3 and 1. So is 3 a factor of 30? Yes. So we can simplify by dividing both numerator and denominator by 3, and we get 1/10. That is our final answer. So as you work your problems, I don't expect you to write this part here. I just did that to show you that we multiply the numerators together, 1 times 3, over multiply the denominators, 6 times 5. So I don't really expect you to write this part. You can if you want, if that helps you, but it's not necessary. For example, going over here, 3/7 times 2/3. I'm going to multiply the numerators, 3 times 2, and I get 6. Multiply the denominators, 7 times 3 is 21. So I took out this step right here, but you can definitely do it if you want to. Then we need to simplify. The factors of 6 are 6, which 6 is not a factor of 21, and 2 times 3. So 3 is a factor for both, so I divide numerator and denominator by 3, and I get 2/7, which is our simplified answer. You always, because of the work we're doing, you always want to put a circle or a box around your answer. It just makes it easier to find the answer when you're checking it. Next example, 5/8 times 24. 24 is a whole number. Common mistake is that students will multiply 5 times 24 and 8 times 24, but that's not how we do it. You can only multiply fractions together. Everything has to be in fraction form. 24 is not in fraction form, but we've learned that you can write it as a fraction by giving it a denominator of 1, putting it over 1. Now that you have the 24 in fraction form, we can multiply. Multiply the numerators. 5 times 24 is, I believe, 120. Yes. And then multiply the denominator. 8 times 1 is 8. I'm going to go ahead and simplify. I know that 8 is a factor of 120, so I'm going to divide both numerator and denominator by 8. And I get 15 over 1. 120 divided by 8 is 15, 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 15 over 1 simplifies to 15 whole. And our last example, 8 times 1/3. So again, 8 is a whole number. Just put it over 1. And then multiply. Multiply your numerators. 8 times 1 is 8. Multiply the denominators. 1 times 3 is 3. This cannot be simplified, but it is an improper fraction, so we need to change it to a mixed number. If you need to, do Tybo. A lot of you can do it in your head, but if you need to do Tybo, that's fine. Top in, top number goes on the inside, bottom out, the 3 goes on the outside. How many 3s will go into 8? 2 whole groups of 3, which is 6, and we have a remainder of 2. So this becomes 2 whole with 2 left over out of 3. 2 2/3. That's it. It's really easy. I think the hardest part for you is going to be simplifying and changing improper to mixed. Now let's work on some word problems. Neva had 1/3 of an apple pie. She gave 3/4 of what she had to her friend Brianna. What fraction of the whole pie did Brianna get? Okay, so this is confusing sometimes. Students really don't know, are we adding, are we multiplying, are we dividing? So we have to think about it. She's going to give 3/4 of what she had. Well, what did she have? she had 1/3 of an apple pie. So she's going to give 3/4 of the 1/3. This of does not mean to divide. It means to multiply. So we're going to multiply 3/4 times, and I'm going to use the dot for multiplication, 1/3. This is our expression. Always write your expression. You want to see what it is you have to do to solve this problem. Once you have the expression written down, then you can do the math. And you can say, okay, this is fraction multiplication. Both are in fraction form, so I'm going to multiply. Multiply my numerators. 3 times 1 is 3. Multiply my denominators. 4 times 3 is 12. Can I simplify? Sure. I could divide both numerator and denominator by 3, and I'm going to get 1/4. So what fraction of the whole pie did Brianna get? She got 1/4 of the pie. 1/4. Okay, Justin operates an orange juice stand. On Monday, he used 3/4 of a bag of oranges. On Tuesday, he used 1/10 as many oranges as on Monday. So how many bags of oranges did Justin use on Tuesday? Well, he used 1/10 as many. And as many means to what? Multiply. As many oranges as he did on Monday. How much did he use on Monday? He used 3/4. So our expression is going to be 1/10 as many means to multiply 3/4. They're both in fraction form. Now we can go ahead and multiply. Multiply your numerators. 1 times 3 is 3. Multiply the denominators. 10 times 4 is 40. Can we simplify? No. So 3/40 bags is your answer. 3/40. Okay, let's try one more. Of the students in Taylor's band, 1/2 play a brass instrument. Of the students who play brass instruments, 1/5 play the trumpet. What fraction of the students in the band play trumpet? Okay, so think about it. It says, of the students who play a brass instrument. So of, and how many play a brass instrument? 1/2. So of 1/2, 1/5 play the trumpet. So our expression is going to be 1/5, and of means to multiply, of the 1/2. They're both in fraction form, so let's multiply. Multiply the numerators. 1 times 1 is 1. Multiply the denominators. 5 times 2 is 10. So 1/10 of the students in the band will play trumpet. 1/10. And that's all you need to do to multiply with fractions. Good job, Bobcats.